Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Wealthlab podcast. Today is a special episode because we're joined by our client liaison, Mr. Jordan.
Hi guys.
Thank you for joining us. This is the first time we've had a internal guest on the pod, so I wanted you to chime in as the independent third party with your best analogies you can possibly come up with. And today's episode, we're going to be doing a look back on the past 10 years of certainly Wealthlab's history, but also a little bit around some corporate headshots that we found. And I think it's about time that we had a look at them. The reason why we wanted to create this one is Jordan was talking to someone who was saying, well, how long have you guys been around for? And I was like, I bet you I've got some awkward photos from when I set the business up. And almost to the day, 10 years ago, I have got, actually more than that, 11 years ago, I've got the original corporate video that I had put together when I first set Wealthlab up. And I'm going to show this to the group now. Here we go. Let's see if this works. And if you're listening to this, I'm sharing a YouTube clip. And it's actually, surprisingly, this is still on YouTube.
Link in bio.
The link in bio is still there. So Can you guys see this?
It's nice to see that the logo has evolved.
Correct. So, well, this was the original. So if you're just listening to this, so this was the original logo that I had when I first set Wealthlab up. And I spent
word art?
Say again?
Was that word art or something like that? You know, the old word art?
No. This was like full custom graphic design. This was like custom. Oh God, it was a friend of mine in the BNI group that I was in. He created this as a font. He created a standalone font for this logo and then put this logo together. But then what really annoyed me was the lines were all wrong. So this is it. It says a Wealthlab, the science of prosperity. It was a little bit of a play on Breaking Bad. It's got if you think of the Breaking Bad, the green logo that's in the top right.
I get
that's
that.
kind of what we're playing on.
That's what our promotions company was called back in the day, Breaking Beats, and it was like Breaking Bad, but Breaking Beats with the.
Yeah, so there's the same gradient. It's actually the same gradient, which is left to right. And God, we're getting intense about this on the Breaking Bad logo. And if you're listening, it's just it's lighter on one side and darker on the other. And I grabbed that and I put that on the logo here.
There for the trajectory of your investments.
Exactly. That was thank you, mate. And the science of prosperity. I was really trying to play around with the Wealthlab. It never really stuck. People never really understood what it meant. So I really stopped playing around with the science thing. But at the time I thought it was really cool, which is why I went with it.
Well, we are the wizards, so science and wizardry go hand in hand.
So this at the same time, Visual Domain was the business that shot this video, and they've been since bought by News Corp, and they are like proper videographers. Thanks for the help there, boys. All right, guys, I reckon this audio is going to work. If you can hear this, there we go.
Yes.
So this is like the classic. So if you're listening to this, I'm playing the YouTube clip. I'll put it in the bio so you can have a look at it. It's pretty cringy, but it's also not terrible because this was published I think it's like the 8th of August, 2014. This was put live. When was this put live? The 8th of August, 2014. This was pushed out there. So let's have a watch of it and tell me what you guys think. B-roll. So this is much skinnier Scott.
So fresh, so innocent. Not a single grey hair. Look at it.
Who is that guy?
To increase their wealth and increase their lifestyle. My name's Scott.
I remember thinking that jacket was so cool. It's a velvet jacket, if anyone's wondering.
Velour.
I mean,
business is specifically for people who.
That's like a co-working space that I was in. That wasn't my actual office. You roll.
Most people will see a financial planner because they want to learn more about super or invest some money. But ultimately, what they really want is to have an easier lifestyle. How do we get enough money?
I don't think it's bad. What do you guys think?
12 months.
It's not that cringy.
All the things that we really want in life.
I was just thinking about like 2014. There wasn't a lot of other similar businesses doing similar stuff. Especially not with a 12-year-old advisor, apparently.
With your future sorted with NAB.
Yeah, well, this is, and if you're listening here, I'm basically just hassling the receptionists now. So what I did was I've changed outfits. I put a suit and tie on. It's flicked to black and white. And I've just basically made them like pose as the guy was filming me, I don't know, asking them questions or something like that.
Simplifying the financial process, breaking it down to a level in which we can really quantify how we can increase our clients' wealth and how much of an impact we can have on their lives. I like to see people grow. I like to see businesses grow. I like to see relationships grow. Increasing clients' wealth is what we do every day, and we love it.
And it ends with a God. So that was it. It's actually 11 years ago, almost to the day this video was published. What do you guys think?
Actually, no, what you said, put that through a 2014, young fresh Scott lens. I reckon that's pretty good.
So I was just off. So I'd had the corporate world at that point, and I'd worked in it was at the time that were called independent licensees. So it was an independent AFSL. So it was the same land. It was like it wasn't the big dealer group land that what people work. It was just a small licensee that I set up on St Kilda Road, of course. But anyway, moving forwards in the theme of looking back at circa early 2000s, I have a photo of Phil. Why don't you explain to us what's going on in these photos? And then Jordan, you can give us your best hot take there. So on the right-hand side, let's start here. What's this photo of and what's going on?
Well, yeah, this points to my lack of corporate headshots because, prior to becoming a financial advisor, I did not exist in the corporate world and also didn't have any headshots from my business at the time, which had a coffee shop in Brisbane. This was the closest I could find to a work-related shot because that was my Decaf Sucks shirt that I had made up for the coffee shop, and I ducked around the corner because Costa Zoo was doing a book signing. So hence where that photo came from. It was the closest thing I had from a...
What year is this taken, Phil?
Hey?
What year is this?
I don't even know. Maybe 2000 and... I'm going to guess around 2006, something like that.
Are you an Americano man, Phil, or are you like a soy decaf mocha? Like, what's your go-to?
Oh, get out. Well, actually, look, I've gone to filter coffee these days. I've gone right off the espresso. I probably drank way too much of it. But back in the day, it was always the double shot piccolo. Well, I think they call it magic now in fancy terms.
Yeah, okay.
So Costa Zoo, for context, is a boxer, is a fairly famous boxer. So Phil ran a coffee shop that he sold, and then he got into financial planning. And then let's have a look. So this goes from Phil, the boxing guy who's running a cool coffee shop, and fast forward a couple of years later, this is the CBA headshot.
Oh, I'm so glad you managed to track that one down. Jesus Christ. That shows you what a few years working in a bank will do to you. Clearly hasn't
Phil's wearing a vertical striped shirt with a left and right stripe shirt underneath it, and then buttoned up black tie or blue tie.
I tell you, I do vaguely remember getting ready for these headshots and putting what I thought was the flashiest looking bloody suit going. It almost looks like I raided my dad's cupboard, but a bit of a shocker.
How long had you been CBA when this shot was taken? I
would have been there. This would have been right as I started as an advisor, which was 2012, I think, off the top of my head. So I would have been at CBA 2008. I think I started there. It was just after I sold the shop and I got a job in customer service while I was studying for financial planning. So this would have been right after I finished working in the branches and was just starting as a financial planner, running around like thinking I was the big dog.
So that was so you'd done 12 years of not seeing much sunlight then at that point.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. But the reality was I was either at work or I was studying, so that was it. Obviously, I did an awful lot of sitting around and eating too by the look of that.
So that was you. So you reckon this is 2012, something like that?
So we're in somewhere around there, yeah.
So then I've dug out, and now we're moving forwards. So we'll do this sequentially. So this is Scott 2014. This episode really only works if you're actually watching it, but we'll just try and describe it as well. These are some corporate headshots.
Well, look at this one. Okay, I mean, you can't see me pointing, but look at the bloody blue steel.
Yeah, I was so cool wearing this suit. And for context, it's got this like black, I don't even know what you said.
It's called a braid.
Thanks.
Braid?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, that was me, much skinnier. I reckon I'm about 80 kilos in that photo. So that's
I mean, for anyone that hasn't seen Scott in person, he's a giant. So at 80 kilos, that's very...
I think there's a lot on me about that. So this is 2015. So that's 9 years ago, almost. No.
You get that on your school colours, like at a private school. If you like make the first team or something like that, you got the trim around the.
No, I'm sorry, mate. I wasn't part of the fancy that we didn't go to those sorts of fancy schools, so apparently didn't know that reference. But thank you very much for coming in, brother.
That's why I'm here, brother. That's why I'm the client liaison, because I know everything.
So now Phil, fast forward. What year is this? So now Phil has left the bank. He's got skinny again. Plus, what year is that?
That's got to be... God, I don't even know, actually. 2000 and... Maybe around 14, 15, something like that, I'd guess.
Okay, so about the same year. So who you?
Had a very brief stint at Host Plus, working out of the Broadbeach office there, looking after their employers. It was a very brief break out of financial planning, actually, and I hated it and went back to financial planning very quickly. It was a great job. I got paid to sit around and do nothing pretty much, but I got real bored.
Yeah. Tends to be the way with industry funds.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, but and that was old Jager Amira. He was from the Gold Coast Suns. Sorry?
So he was a footy player.
Yeah, he was wandering past the office one day and we dragged him in. And he couldn't say no because obviously we sponsored him at the time. So, that was that. It was actually cool. We used to get to, probably partly while I was so skinny, we used to go and train at the Suns training facilities once a week in the morning before work, which was pretty cool.
Any Broncos?
Mate, there's 120 Ks between those two stadiums, mate.
No, I mean any Broncos as in the fitness test where you run like 20, 40, 60 and then back. And then you do
yes.
Times.
Yes. We did do that.
What was your fastest time?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. What was the cool thing was training in the altitude rooms. I'd never done that before. That was something.
Yeah. Let me just wrap this up. We'll get back on. This is the area. So now fast forward to when wearing stripy socks was really cool.
Yeah.
So it is still cool. It is still cool.
Has it ever not been cool?
I don't think it is, man. I think we've been out of the corporate world too long. I just thought it looked cool.
Socks.
So this was the paraplaner, and I think she left like a week after this photo was taken. There's always this awkward, this is 2019, getting a little bit older. Corporate shots here.
You got to have some fun socks, because it's like I'm in the suit, I'm in the tie, I'm here professionally, but also, I'm a cool guy.
Yeah, I think the average age of this office at this point in time was all like 25 or something. I don't know. We must have been in our 20s. Maybe I think I was like 30 here. 31.
I mean, old mate on the right looks like he's dragging the average up a bit.
This guy here is taller than I was. That was always interesting. Oh yeah, old mate on the right. Yeah.
Pass out from altitude sickness.
So that's it. Those are the photos I've got. Obviously, I've got more to fill because I think I just had more stuff randomly.
I have a question.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you where all my old corporate headshots are. There's a lot around, but I couldn't find any. So. Mate, you need to ask my wife for that stuff. Sorry, Jordan. Yes.
There is a question around the upload date of the original Wealthlab Science of Prosperity. You said that was the 8th of August.
Correct.
Was that planned?
Well, I think it's got something to do with. So I think my birthday's on the 6th of August or something. So I think I had a. I must have been whatever that was.
Well, eight is a very lucky number. That is.
Yeah, so I must have been like 25.
So 8 to the 8.
Or something like.
8 to
Yeah,
the 8.
no, I think it was 20. I was 25, and I was like, "That's it. By the time I'm 25, I need to have a business." And from memory, that's actually just what happened. It's just coming up now.
Okay. Well, the upload date, 8th of the 8th, is a very prosperous and abundance related date. So.
Look at you with the numbers, Jordan.
There you go.
No, but I'd like to say looking back on 10 years at Wealthlab, but actually that was 11 years. So we've done an extra year. I'll just
point out, GST.
Close to 20 years now in the business.
I just wanted to also highlight for those people who are still hanging in there and still listening to this podcast, thank you. We appreciate you. But I'm just going to reflect. What I've got here is the Money Smart Advisor register. And if you're wanting to find out any advisor that you've worked with, and to a degree, it was kind of funny to dig out some photos, but also I wanted to point out that, I mean, I've been in the business for 11 years. Phil's been at 13 years now, something like that.
15.
More than that. And there's actually, first of all, there's 2 Scott Jacksons on the register. So I'm just going to clarify that I'm the one without Ronald in his middle name. Yeah. So this is 10 years ago. The ASIC was taking paper forms and they stuffed it up. But you can actually see someone's qualifications. You can see how long they've been advising. You can see where they've been advising, and it's really helpful to actually see that, to make sure your advisor you're speaking to is suitably referenced on the Money Smart website. Phil, you had an interesting story about a client that came to you and you did this, and he'd actually, there was something with it. But you can also just find us on the FAAA. So we're part of the Financial Advice Association, myself and Phil, and here's what the registers look like as well. So I'm just showing Phil's financial advice certificate. But Phil, you had a client recently look at joining up. And then you did a search, and what happened?
Yeah, interesting. I got talking to someone the other day that had mentioned that they had a previously less than optimal experience with a prior financial advisor, and sort of asked around what their recourse may be. And we looked the guy up on the register just out of curiosity, and he had actually been banned. So the point of that is it is actually a really good resource, live data, and you will know if the person you're speaking to is has had any issues. The other interesting thing was looking it came up with C ban, so we could see that he'd been banned, but we could go through and see the disciplinary actions as well.
Really?
Which is quite interesting. So yeah, if you've had like a determination or some sort of disciplinary action from the regulators, that will show on the register as well. So, it is worth doing that extra level of due diligence. Look the advisor up. Cool, they might be registered, everything might be current, but you can also see whether they've had any past issues that have potentially logged on the record. So there might be something to ask a few questions about if that does pop up on someone's register. It was an interesting one. I will just highlight too, if you're looking me up, search for Philip, not Phil. I don't know why I can't figure out the difference between the two, but there you go.
Got to have the double L.
Got to have the double L. Yeah. Or just surname works, weirdly, but Phil Sproul doesn't, but Sproul does. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, okay. Guys, thanks. This was a cute look back. Hopefully we do this in another 10 years' time at the 20-year mark, and God knows what we're going to do. There's probably a bit more grey hair on my end.
Lots more wisdom. Lots more wisdom.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, wisdom.
So don't forget to please like this podcast and subscribe. If you've got any friends that you know that would benefit from our advice, we're always happy to help. The website is just gone live. We've just done a refresh. So do direct them there, and then they can check out the online quizzes that we've got for people who are interested in having a chat with us to see if they are right for advice. And we'll leave it there. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, guys.